Right. And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this fabulous Monday? How have we been doing? What have we been up to? Did you have a good weekend? Did you do anything good? Or did you have a ridiculously stupid weekend like I did? I spent Saturday freaking myself the fuck out because I had frothy pee, which might be TMI, but it's apparently a sign that your fucking kidneys are shutting down. And I decided, I was like, it was a couple of days in a row. And yeah, I was like, oh shit, I'm fucking dying. And then I drank water and it stopped happening because it's also a sign of dehydration. So I've been much more aware of my liquid intake because I had been drinking lots of water and then I stopped like an idiot. And yeah, I know whiskey memes and all that, but yeah, drink water, you need it. It's so I scared the fucking shit out of myself, but unnecessarily. But then the Sunday was just a different kind of stupid that was only partially my fault. I'd sitting in waiting for a delivery of some groceries because we live in the future, and then I realised I'd set that delivery for today somehow because I'm fucking stupid. I thought, oh, it's fine, it doesn't matter. There wasn't anything we really needed in it. Until it got to about 3:30, which is about 30 minutes before the shop shut in this country, on a Sunday anyway. And I realised, oh, fucking hell, there's something I really, really need because the kids go to school tomorrow and they need fucking part of their packed lunch, which is basically crisps. It's simple, but, you know, they like their routine and they get kind of annoyed when, you know, it gets fucked up. So, yeah, I had to run down the shops on a dodgy knee. And I got there, did the shopping, got it all set up, walked up to the cashier, and they was like, oh, cash or card? And I went, fucking neither, because I'm an idiot and I'd forgot my fucking wallet. So, yeah, that was a nice try. I was like, oh, fuck this all up.
I didn't realise you went all the way down and did all that. I thought you just went down, forgot it, and came back.
Well, what else? I mean, it's still as bad because I'd run out of time at that point.
Yeah,
but then I realised...
I didn't realise it was that bad.
The app, there's Just Eat, which is a food delivery app, but they do groceries. I was like, fucking on it. It's going to be a little bit overpriced, but at least I can fucking salvage this day. I had to order a few bits because I was like, well, I might as well while I'm there. So I ordered a not insignificant amount of extra crisps. You know, a few bags of little bags. Like, I think it was 4 6-packs. I thought, right, okay, so that'll definitely get here. And it's some bananas and some other shit. And it arrived and they'd forgotten the fucking crisps. And I couldn't fucking believe it. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to actually drive me insane. And I ended up doing an entire order of just crisps. And I was like, right, fuck that up. And they did. To be fair, it was mostly there, so I got the crisps for the kids for today, but they still left one of them behind. I actually couldn't fucking believe it. It's like they just really, really didn't want me to have this one specific thing. It was complete stupidity, and it's not important, and it's like super first world problems. Like, the kids would have survived without crisps. I would have figured something else out. I would have given them something else. But it was just the most annoying fucking 4 hours of my life. It just, every single turn was just denial of the crisps. So, yeah, that actually drove me just a little bit crazy. Ended up speaking to my brother about it, and he was like, did you get kind of pissed off? And I was like, no, of course not. But yeah, so... dude, life is ruined. Like I said, it's not ruined, but you know when something is just absurdly, ridiculously, just a thing just keeps going wrong. I mean, every single attempt. I mean, it wasn't the only thing that I tried to do that day that didn't work either. It was one of those days where each and every time I tried to do something, it just wouldn't fucking work. And there are days designed to drive you crazy. And if you survive those, you must seek revenge. I mean, I did get my money back. And that was about it.
Sick peeling potatoes and frying up the deep fry.
I mean, to be fair, it's not they do like salted crisps, so it's not like I couldn't do that. My granddad, I remember way back in the day, my granddad was super fucking impressed because he'd bought himself. It was just the simplest fucking thing. It was like a little. Imagine a dish rag, a thing to stand up plates to dry them off. It was like that, but tiny and for cooking. And he'd bought this, and he was like, "Oh, come in here, I've got to show this to you." And he peeled a potato. He did. He sliced a potato into thin things, and then put them all in this little rag, and then put them in the microwave. And they were pretty good, but it was the sheer amount of impressed with oneself that I can only relate to now as an adult when I do stupid little shit like that, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to tell everyone. As a kid I was like, fucking hell, granddad, all right, calm down. So that's a good talking point. That's a good thing to segue so I don't have to actually think of topics. What was the most petty, mundane little victory over the universe that you've had, that you had to tell at least someone about it, and they weren't that impressed when you told them? Chips equal crisps, chips equal what? Crisps? Yeah, God, I'm confusing myself with your comment. But yeah. Chips
are not fries. Fries are fries.
Chips are chips. Fries are like the ones you get in McDonald's. And like, what if Americans don't use the word crisps, then they should just use the word crisps, because what are potato chips? They're crisp, aren't they? Extremely crisp. They're so crisp that you should call them fucking crisps. Someone is like, Egypt runs away. How sweet. It's okay. I mean, that's a nice memory of my granddad. I mean, he's not the worst person in the world, but he isn't old and does old things, if you know what I mean. A friend of mine makes her own crisps. She's quite annoying about it in a hippie way, but they are quite tasty. Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, cool, that works. Although I don't know, McDonald's, you heathens. I mean, what? I'm not going to say what's wrong with McDonald's, but what's wrong with the definition of McDonald's chips being fries? They're so chips, so you should call them chips. Are they chips? Because I would see a chip of a potato as like a little triangle out of it, not a slice. They're potato slices. That's what they fucking are. They ain't chips. If you've chipped a tooth, there's not this like perfect little slice of it that falls off. It's a chunk.
Like a cuboid of tooth.
Yeah, that's a chip. So you're fucking wrong, Rachel Faye. Take that. An internet person. But tortilla chips, though, I mean, they're still crisps, but we just call them tortillas.
I made a cup of tea and did not burn the house down. That is an achievement.
That is quite the skill.
I grew.
When you did that, I tried to kill myself with my drink. So we all have small victories.
I grew lettuce, the easiest thing to grow, but god damn it, I grew lettuce.
That's, I don't know, like growing something. I remember growing strawberries as a kid, and like that is just like, it feels like a life hack of the universe. It's like, wait, that one fruit that's like really good, I can just make appear in my garden from some tiny little packet of nonsense. This doesn't seem right. Victories over the universe. Well, that sounds like every time I tell my wife something to... I tell my wife something to I've done. I get a look of, you're still here?
We're not English, we don't chip teeth. I have all my teeth.
So
none of my teeth are chipped.
You've never known a person who's fallen down and injured themselves?
Yes, I have. It was one of my friends who was very drunk.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this individual. They've literally never known a person who's chipped a tooth. Amazing. You live a blessed life, apparently. Did you literally describe them as potato chips? I could convert to tater slices, though.
Oh, God. Are we going to go on this again? Okay, right. So you go into Google and you type in which countries have the best dental care and what in the top 5. Oh, look, it's the UK. Fuck you.
Yeah, Mrs. Sick is very mad about the... basically, it's a stereotype and it's not even true. The bad teeth thing, because
it's just because it's a lot of people in the UK have crooked teeth, but crooked teeth doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they're crooked.
We're not so obsessed with
aesthetics.
The aesthetic perfection of teeth.
They work. I don't have tooth decay. I don't have to have any teeth removed. I don't have any chips or abscesses or lumps or whatever.
Do I have a small crisp in my front tooth? I mean, you could have. I mean, if you just like shove it in, and that's really fucking painful. That's like one of the most painful things in the universe, is biting a chip of crisp paper sideways by accident and just making just the hardest spike you ever did done feel. A potato chip off the old block.
Yeah, it's a sore spot for me because it's not fucking true. That's why it bothers me so much.
I have beaten the universe, but no one else has ever survived the experience. I beat off the universe. It was very happy with me.
Fuck's it,
I shattered my 4 top front teeth the day after I got my braces off. Oh, that's so fucked up. If you'd have done the thing that made that happen, like did you fall? Did they just explode? You're just like talking to John. And I was like, hi, John. And then my teeth fucking flew out. It was crazy. Or did you like, if you fell on them, I wonder what would have happened if you'd have had the braces on. Would it have been better or worse? I assume slightly better because they've got at least some sort of defensive measure to them, I suppose. But maybe it would be worse. Maybe it would add force to the wrench to the rest of your teeth.
Dentistry in any country is really fucking expensive. It's like the dentist found a loophole and went, you know what, let's charge out the arse for this. I mean the dentistry thing in the UK being that you get all of your medication is free except for the dentists, because for some reason dental health isn't health, even though it has the word in it. Drives me crazy. Where's the convo about teeth? Really bad timing for me. It's not supposed to be. It's just Mrs. Sick has a I don't know, a tooth chip on her shoulder. But I want to know people's petty victories. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to talk about. I'm never victorious. So
the family cat was acting strange, and everyone was convinced it was about to die. I was sure she was suffering from some kind of infection. I managed to get a hold of her, and had sawdust in her ears, or you saw dust in her ears.
Oh, like mites.
Yeah, because mites can actually
can cause nasty ear infections and affect balance and all sorts.
They can cause them to go blind and shit. Yeah. It's pretty fucked. So yeah, you've got to keep on top of that. I mean, a lot of people are stuck on the teeth thing.
Oh yeah, because they're back in
I guess
time.
It's relatable. At school in the 80s, I got a hockey stick in the mouth.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm still laughing about the mental picture of Sir Sick having his way with the JWST. I'm seriously considering hiring an artist. What is the JWST? Okay. Claymore mine filled with teeth. I mean, well, you could do a nail bomb. Or in this case, like a tooth bomb. I don't know if it would make it less or more effective. God, nail bombs were such a problem when I was a kid. That there was always one going off somewhere, and then they just kind of stopped. Not that I'm encouraging anybody to do it again, because that shit was fucked up. But it just seemed to happen all the time for a little while. I thought you said shat out. I'll be quiet now. My dad got in a bike wreck and ate the pavement, so now all of his front teeth are fake. I mean, damn. Slipped on the sidewalk, fell teeth first. If I still had braces, it might have ripped out the teeth that had all the anchors attached. So in some ways, that was the best possible situation.
Sorry, I blanked out and everyone's saying James Webb Telescope. What?
Oh, right. Yeah. Because that was one of the animations I made in one of the videos about me getting my penis stuck in the James Webb Telescope.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's basically a take on the instructions unclear gag. Have you considered teaming up with the Dapper Dino for his drinking and debunking streams? I know there isn't enough alcohol in the galaxy, but I'd love to see that happen. I don't consider most things. When it comes, like, I've never even heard of the Dapper Dino until you said that. So, but I am mostly very busy, and I am terrible at doing collaborative stuff because it's extra work. And in the last few years, has dental been accessible as public health here in Tasmania? Still some cost. Yes, and it still is here. Tooth Bomb is an excellent band name, always. It's weird that kids never ask the tooth fairy does with all those teeth. I think they build houses with them. Low income housing.
Well, the kids know what I do with their teeth.
What do you do with their teeth?
I keep them.
Where do you keep them?
In a bag.
Where's the bag?
There.
So, should we throw that bag away because that's disgusting?
They said there's two types of people who collect teeth: witches and mothers.
So there's one type of person who collects teeth.
Well, the thing is, like, keeping hold of them. I read an article saying that just by keeping hold of them, potentially sometime in the future, they could probably take the stem cells from them. So if you needed something in the future that needed growing, when they eventually master that technology, you could get it from your stem cells in your baby teeth.
I see.
So I was like, I best keep them then.
Surely they wouldn't survive, though. I don't.
Apparently, like, there's a possibility that they might, but it's unlikely. But it was one of the things that encouraged me to keep them.
Tooth fairies eat teeth, if Hellboy is to be believed.
And serial killers, serial killers keep teeth. Yeah.
Very true. How do they digest them? Speaking of telescopes, we took a picture of Orion with the moon as the head. I mean, that's the way to do it.
That's adorable.
It looked like a big space snowman. I mean, probably not the right colours, but still. He hosts the streams live. You just need to bring your voice and snark and alcohol. Well, that's all well and good. I mean, I host these streams live too, but that doesn't mean that anybody has any fucking time to come. I set aside time to do these. I have these, like, kids and a missus and life and lots and lots and lots of work. So I wouldn't hold my breath on that happening. I'd like to be more active, but I'm just fucking exhausted a lot of the time. Selling bags of teeth on the street corner. American healthcare. America.
The CGI reconstructions of ancient Egypt, like the places or the people, because I've seen both.
Yeah, she's played Assassin's Creed. Which one is it? Origins. There you go. So you did have fun wandering around in that game.
I liked it, but it's set in the Ptolemaic period, and it's just like, so it's when Greeks occupied it. I went, no, I'm not interested.
Not good enough.
No, it's not Egyptian enough.
I'm wondering whether or not Mrs. Sick has seen. Oh right, yeah, that's the one you just. Yeah. God damn it! I hate it when that happens. It's just you read a lot less of it. I had an extra adult tooth growing in my gum. I had to have an operation to get it removed. Still got it 35 years later for some reason, and you still put it in your mouth and go, ha, because I mean that's disgusting. But that's the one that makes me really. Is it? I've seen it in like cartoons and shit, and like shows that are pretending to be old. But did people used to take teeth and like stick them in their own mouth?
Yeah, they used to do that.
That's fucking vile, and I don't even get that. Wouldn't work.
Yeah, the ancient Egyptians were one of the first ones to have false teeth as well.
But by taking someone else's tooth and just like jamming it in.
They did a thing in order to keep it in there. They would like sew with, I think it was gold. They would sew through the teeth into your gums with gold.
That's fucking horrifying.
To keep it in place. Yeah.
Oh. I was watching one of his videos today, and I remember a guy calling a telescope a microscope, as you do. Churchill's false teeth are going on auction soon. Guide price is $8,000. Oh man. I mean, who wants to give me a loan for $8,000? And by loan, I mean, who wants to give me $8,000 so I can buy Churchill's teeth?
Did George Washington have wooden false teeth? I thought that was a myth.
What
that he had wooden false teeth.
I think I've heard that it's he had false teeth, but they were like relatively decent. He might have had them at one point and then like changed them for better ones because he was the fucking president.
Said,
I think.
And contrary to the popular myth that he had wooden teeth, he had ones made from animal and human teeth.
Hot.
Particularly elephant and walrus. Their base was lead.
Oh, well, that's just...
to make the springs more flexible.
The springs?
Yeah, like, because they'd be, like, to for your jaw when you close it and open it.
Don't you just use the muscles in your face?
No, because you had to, like, have it attached to your upper jaw and then your bottom jaw. You need it to be connected together like dentures.
Okay,
but
clearly,
in order to like talk, you need like what suspenders like in a car.
Yes, they did that. George Washington, in addition to his wooden teeth, had a set ripped out of his slave's mouth. Jesus,
yeah, he had
Christ.
slave teeth in his mouth. Yeah.
Jesus. I don't have a stake in this horse, but a horse steak ain't bad. I mean, enjoy it. Tycho Brahe had a copper nose, if that helps with anything. I like... It doesn't, but I like your... fucking words. I'm a wordser. I do it professionally, apparently. Had to have 7 baby teeth removed when the adopted teeth came through. Lead washing tome. You lost me at the end. I think you were drunk. How was the game about ancient Egypt? Mrs. Sick. Too recent and too Greek. The ignorant mind explodes in stupidity.
Well, my favourite period of ancient Egypt was the Middle Kingdom. So when I heard about a game based in ancient Egypt, I was like, actually ancient Egypt, not towards the end of it.
A little bit of insight into that. Ancient is anything before 750 AD in a sort of etymological sense. So
then yeah, definitely.
Old Egypt, any Egypt where Egypt was what we think of as Egypt, is ancient Egypt. So when the Greeks were kicking about and everything, I think it's basically, pardon me, a thing about.
Yeah, I understand
when
that. I understand
when
that,
historical...
it's not old enough.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not old enough, and it was too much of the Greek influence is why she wasn't super... She wanted to see the, Middle Kingdom stuff?
Well, yeah, I want that. Or it would be cool if, like, in the Old Kingdom, when you can actually see the pyramids being built. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
But no. Like, I watched Gods of Egypt, the movie...
I have to get dental implants,
which
with
really
screws.
annoyed me because Ramses was supposed to be the king, but then in the background they're building the pyramids, and it drove me fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just incredibly inaccurate. Had to get dental implants with screws, only going to cost about $12,000. Thank you, public healthcare, for not caring about teeth. Whereabouts, like, are you for that? Like, I know that you can get implants here. And they cost like £200 a pop per tooth. So I don't know how many teeth a person has, but I don't think it's 12 grand's worth if it was £200 a pop. Although I don't know if there's a difference between, posts and screws and all
I'm
that.
not sure about the whole brushing their teeth with dead rats, but I know that they had a very similar thing to what the Indians used to do, which is use branches that with prickly bristles, so that you could basically like scrape the dirt off your teeth. No, it's not the best, but yeah.
Isn't there? Yeah. What is it? I can't think what they're called. Like
It's like when you like split a stick into like tiny strips, they would use the end of that.
Apparently, multiple people are just trying to be mean to me today, including Tusk, Evening, you gap-toothed dong, which, okay. And hello, Sir Dick. I mean, these are things that you've said to me. I don't know what to say back to them. Cool.
Yeah,
Not
I
true.
guess chewing on the sticks would probably have the same sort of thing too. I'm not like an expert in it, It's just I have a vague interest in ancient Egypt. So
What the fuck? Talking about teeth? All I did was say that if you get that, I was comparing crisps and chips, and saying that it seems more accurate to be calling a crispy thing that is literally all it is just crunch.
Possums have 50 teeth. Wow. Okay.
Oof. All I did was say that calling slices of potato chips when a chip in your tooth is not the same. And then Mrs. Sick went crazy about someone saying that British people have bad teeth because of stereotypes. And we did some research on it, and that's just actually not true in terms of the dental healthcare league tables, where Brits are like actually quite high up. But whatever. Let's stop talking about teeth. I wanted to know. I had a really wholesome idea of people telling me about their petty little victories, about little things that they did in their life that they were really proud of and kind of impressed with themselves. Went to tell someone about it, and that person was entirely fucking nonplussed and was like, oh, yeah, that's really clever. Well done, you. That's what I wanted to know. It was so good. Weren't you meant to talk about movies or something this week? We were meant to remind you, but you forgot the topic. It's not that I forgot the topic. It's that I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, I like talking about movies. It takes a starting point for movies to start. I will say that I spent some time this weekend going through my Plex server and fixing all the broken titles and artwork and stuff. Like I had a copy of Ant-Man. Oh well, I have a copy of Ant-Man on there. Not that it's a good movie or that I care about it, but I at some point acquired an entire set of all the Marvel movies, or the relatively recent ones.
Well, I watched a movie today.
Okay, and most of them were fine, but some of them they didn't come through right. And for some reason, Ant-Man came up as Half-Man, which was a documentary about some German fucking prog something or other band from the 1980s. It was very odd of what it decided this movie was, even though the name had nothing to do with that. So yeah, that was a thing that I was doing and fixing up, and I got quite a lot of satisfaction out of it. But for some reason, it was Marvel movies and Studio Ghibli movies that just would break regularly. But it did teach me how to fix them properly, and now I have a big, nice, shiny set of perfectly laid out movies in my Plex server. The fucking TV shows are completely booked and look like trash, and I am not looking forward to fixing those because there's so many fucking episodes of everything. But yeah. Okay, my dad, every time I painted a miniature, my dad would say, meh, I'm a good painter, but don't show off my stuff because of that asshole. Yeah, that's so I can understand, like, not like, I love my kids, and they have varied interests. Some of them are more my speed than others. But when they come to me and show me something that I couldn't give a fuck about, I feign interest. I was like, oh, that's nice. I like that. That's great. Most of the time it's fine because they actually have quite aligned interests with me. But, you know, sometimes there's just things that I'm not that into. And I'm not going to be an asshole to them about it. I'm not going to be like, meh, be better. And fucking push them over. It's just so unnecessary to do that to your kids. When I was a little kid, I was stood around. I was just singing a song to myself that I'd heard on the radio, and my dad went, "Oh, don't give up your day job." And it was just the most unnecessarily rude and mean thing that he could have done. And then I just wouldn't sing in front of people. I now have a big complex. And it may very well be to do with that, where, as far as I'm aware, I'm a reasonably competent singer when I'm doing it properly, but I just don't do it properly anymore. Every time I ever sing in my videos, it's always on purpose not very good, because I can't bring myself to try. And that's really fucked up. That was so unnecessary. And, you know, I don't get why parents decide to do that. Just don't. Like, it's... But that's just me and my bitching about childhood stuff. Has to be done sometimes. Mouse-flavoured cat food. What about cat-flavoured mouse food? My dad had the same hobby. Wait, is this... Oh... Wait, so he had the same hobby, so he would have been interested in it, but he was just like, meh. Was he like, mine are better? Or is it because yours were better, and he was like jealous? Like a little bitch. Not that I'm calling your dad a little bitch, but your dad's a little bitch. Because I just don't agree with parents. Just don't shit on your kids, either in a literal sense or... in a bad sense. Good news, Marvel has sucked for like the last 10 years. They have some decent stuff. Really liked Loki and Loki Season 2. They were both really good. The bits of Loki Season 2 weren't as good as others, but it generally went through pretty well. Yeah. Kids need building up, not breaking down. I don't think it was even like he was going out of his way to be mean. I think it was just he thought it was funny. But you have to be so fucking careful with kids. It's just, you have to make it clear. Especially you have to make it clear when you're joking. Like, my kids can get upset about a lot of things, but we're very communicative with them. And we just, we talk to them. And try and make sure that none of us are misunderstood with each other. Negging your children, Jesus, yeah. I only have a physical copy of anything. The ownership rights to digital media always seem suspect, and now they're proving it. Well, I have physical copies of things, and then I back them up. So that's what the Plex server is for, because that means that I can have both the benefits of some physical media, and I also have a literal, basically my own version of Netflix that works anywhere that I go. I just sign in and it just runs off of my server. So it's like the best of both worlds. So if you have the capacity to build or obtain a half-decent server, set yourself up with Plex or Jellyfin. I would try Jellyfin, but it just doesn't work with Synology as far as I'm aware. Or it's not, at least it's not easy. Over the Christmas holidays, my oldest niece went on a rant about how much she likes Paw Patrol. 10 minutes later, I learned she actually wanted me to help her build her new dollhouse. Oh, that's sweet. I mean, fucking building things with kids, I find it really frustrating. Not because I don't like building things, but because they tend to be really bad at it. But that's something you have to learn. It's something you have to let them do as much as possible. without getting annoyed about it. Like, because this is not me saying that you can't find things that your kids like boring. Like, you're still a person. You're allowed to have your own personality. You just try not to show it. Just try not to lay it on thick. And if they're fucking, like, occasionally they just won't leave you alone. So that's really lovely, but I'm kind of busy right now, and I'll have a look at it later. And that gives you at least some reprieve without being a dick about it. I back up all my torrents on my Plex server. Me too. I have some physical media, but most of the time we like something on a streaming service, go, that's probably going to go away at some point, and then acquire an alternative copy. I really wish I was smart enough to understand all these new technologies and things. Well, just look up Plex. And a server is literally just, you could, if you have some disposable income, a server can be as simple as a box that you sit on a shelf with a few hard drives in it, and then you install this very simple to use software on it, which isn't particularly hard to do, like very, very learnable. And then once you're signed in and have it like semi set up, it's not super duper hard to use, and it definitely makes it better. I just build medieval and ancient weapons with my kids. Like I said, my family worries about me. I mean, it all depends on whether you siege the family home. That's the best thing to do with your trebuchets and catapults. I just updated my Plex server ready for incoming stuff. As in, we're waiting for the next Studio Ghibli. What is it called? Mrs. Sick? Babes? What's the new Studio Ghibli? She's so invested in this conversation.
I don't know, you're wittering.
No. What is this stream if not the Witter stream?
Yeah,
and you witter too.
Yeah, but you were just wittering about your server, and my brain started fading out of existence. I'm like,
I was actually talking about that and talking about kids and how not to shit on them and their likes.
Well, yeah,
which would have been a conversation you would have been very invested in if you were listening.
Yeah, but that's kind of a given, though. You don't.
It is a given, but that doesn't stop people fucking it up to this day.
Right, what do you want to know?
What the next Studio Ghibli one that we are totally going to acquire legitimately.
Boy and Heron.
Oh, someone else. Boy and Heron. Blue Heron. Dick Gallo, you fucked it up. You idiot. You fool. Everybody pick on Dick. Wait. That sounds more like a... No, don't do that. Yeah. I saw it over Xmas. Yeah, I know it's in the cinemas, but I'm not going to a fucking cinema. Not this day and age. Best case scenario, I just fucking use my VR headset if I want to have the sort of cinematic experience without all the dirty people making noise and being gross and coughing on me.
You know, because of all the writer strikes that are going over in Hollywood. And they keep, basically, to compensate for this, they're just remaking old movies.
I mean, they're always remaking old shit because
yeah, I know, but
they're very risk averse.
They seem to have hyped that up though since the writers' strike thing.
There is definitely a feeling of there's a bit more of that going on recently, but you know the big problem with studios and that is they're just so fucking terrified of trying something new.
What thing do you want them to remake?
What would I like them to remake? As in movie, game,
anything,
book? Do they do remakes?
Remake book? Yeah, it's a second edition, dumbass.
No, not a second edition. I mean, like, get the book and rewrite the same story but different. Does anyone actually do that?
Probably.
That's got to have happened.
I thought it was called a second edition.
No, a second edition is a reprint. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong.
I thought it was updated.
I mean, they might have like slight differences, but I'm talking like better graphics, you know, controller support. Do they do any of that shit with books? I don't know. I haven't read one in a really long time. They're too much hard work. Now, that's not to say I don't read. It's just I don't read physical books because why? They just take up space. Space for Mrs. Six books about Egypt. Lion King is Hamlet. Avatar is Pocahontas. No, Avatar is kind of shit. Pocahontas is quite good. I like the line about Avatar.
You can tell Mrs. Sick I'm building a Ramses era bar. Which Ramses?
Owned.
There was a lot of them.
Yes, they're called a retelling. There's a very good one right now for Edgar Allan Poe called His Hideous Heart. Oh, okay. So, like, because I'm trying to think of a way that it would be. Like how Evil Dead and the Evil Dead 2 are basically the same movie, but not. Is it as close to that? I mean, it even has the same fucking star. It's weird. Also, both pretty good. Didn't To Kill a Mockingbird go through something like that? Probably. You should see how fast your neighbours come to help you when you start training a trebuchet at their house. What if you start aiming a trebuchet at that neighbour who fucking launches mortars on every fucking celebration? I really don't like that guy. Get them to remake Seven Samurai. No, Magnificent. Oh my god, I can't. Magnificent. Fuck's sake. Magnificent 7. It gets really annoying because the kids being kids, sometimes they mispronounce stuff. And when you know how it's pronounced, and then you try and go, no dear, it's and you fuck it up, and then they copy your fuck up, and you're like, no, wait, I'm stupid.
Ramses the Second.
Huckleberry Finn and Zombie Jim. Jesus Christ. You can watch Avatar till you're blue in the face. Fuck's sake, that's fucking dumb. Avatar is insulting to native peoples who deal with real colonialism. No, the problem with Avatar is it's a 3-hour movie. The entire premise is trees good, military bad. That's what's insulting about it, is that it took that long. And the 3D, like, it doesn't even look that good anymore. It actually kind of looks like shit. Which is the problem with being cutting edge. Like, you never, ever, ever have something that looks good that is just plain cutting edge, because yeah. Please remake The Complete Sir Sick Live Chat, the movie, starring the same star. No. I tried to do a remake once or twice, and no, bad idea. Not because I don't think that it makes the video better, it's just that people don't watch it.
Yeah?
Please say Magnificent again. No. How about the Maleficent 7? I mean, that could be good. Depending on the version of Maleficent it is. I can't believe I find that easier to say than Magnificent, which I had to stop and like brain before I said it there. Random fireworks being set off is probably drug dealers announcing they've got stuff. No, not this guy. This guy only does, and I'm not talking about random. He does it on celebrations, and it is like the world is fucking over. I'm pretty sure that his garden is what real war sounds like. I'm always astonished that his house is still there afterwards. The problem with Avatar is that it was shit. I mean, basically. It wasn't that it was shit, it was that it was overhyped and a bit shit. I don't think it was that bad, but it was like, for some fucking reason. Well, I guess because it was James Cameron, and he has made some bangers. But Avatar wasn't very good. I've not watched the sequel. I assume it's also not very good. I hear it has nice water effects. Okay. I mean, I like graphics as much as the next guy, but I tend to like them in my Vimeo, James, rather than on my screen. I like art direction. I like things that look good, no matter how old they are. Like Okami. That's a PS2 game that still fucking looks astonishing. Does Mrs. Sick have any resources on that period? If I'm being honest, it was her comment that sent me down that rabbit hole. She does, but they're books and you can't have them. She probably has other things. But
most of my books are the funerary books. I like reading the funerary texts.
Yeah, and she's slowly but surely teaching herself to read hieroglyphs, which is a heck of a skill. I would imagine you don't consider yourself like amazing at it, but you can recognize a decent amount of them.
I know some words. I'm just not very good at. Like, as long as it's Middle Egyptian, I can read it.
Thanks, Yogi Man. Appreciate it. Terminator 2 was James Cameron's high point, in my opinion. That's one of my favourite films in the history of ever. A large portion of that is nostalgia. As a kid, I watched that film. That's the film that I had as a kid that I watched so much it pissed people off. Your Sisters was another James Cameron film, I think. It was Near, Far, Wherever They Are. I can't think what it's called. Titanic.
Oh, no. Oh, God. She had a hyperfixation on that movie.
It's weird that we've both got James Cameron movies and they couldn't be any more different. One of them's really good and is Terminator 2, and one of them's a bag of shit.
Every Sunday. Can we watch Titanic? Again.
Did you have anything that you watched endlessly?
Beauty and the Beast, a lot.
I mean, that's a solid movie. That's a good question there.
And then it moved on to Spirited Away, a lot.
Well, for me, mine became Howl's Moving Castle. Both of us got Studio Ghibli films. And we have regular arguments about which one is better and how I'm just correct. You know, at the end of the day, Spirited Away is a great movie. Howl's Moving Castle doesn't have any scenes with a screaming little girl. It wins. It just wins every time. Chihiro, shut the fuck up. Your parents are pigs. They can't even understand you. If you don't know what the hell this movie is, that is going to be such a confusing statement. I can hum the theme to the Terminator this day. I mean, it's not a super complicated song. Next, you'll tell me you can do the Jaws theme. Aliens is the go. Aliens is a fucking great movie. Like, a really good. John Carpenter makes really good movies. He does. The weird thing about Avatar was how so successful without making any cultural impact. People don't talk about it the way they talk about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Star Trek, etc. They really don't. They just sort of go bloobs, and that's about it. And they get it confused with Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is, and I am not talking about the fucking movie. The fucking movie was an absolute travesty, and anybody who knows anything knows that. But the show is incredibly good. And I watched it through relatively recently as background material while I worked, because I'm ADHD as fuck and that just helps me concentrate somehow. But we sat down to watch it with the kids and they fucking love it. And it's still really entertaining as an adult, and while actually paying full attention to it. It's just a really well-written, solid show. Does Mrs. Sick watch Minute Man's awful archaeology series? If not, I'd reckon it'd be right up your street. Minute Man.
No.
Studio Ghibli is always good. Spirited Away is a classic for a reason. It's not always good. Tales from Earthsea is fucking garbage, and I will fight anybody who thinks it's good. It is one of the most disappointing movies I've seen in my entire life. It is just a complete fucking mess. I really, really dislike that movie. But they have a lot of fucking quality. Like, most of their films. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a reason why almost all of their films are on my Plex server and Tales from Earthsea isn't. It's not even a case of, oh, it's bad for a Studio Ghibli film. It's just a bad film. Dum 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 dum. Jaws soundtrack. Good job. Cashier I worked with didn't know that the Titanic was based on a real event. Utterly gobsmacked by the plot twist of the iceberg. Where did it even come from? That's fucking stupid. Surely they would have noticed. And yeah, you'd have thought. Beauty and the Beast was the first animated movie to win a Golden Globe. Huh.
It was one of the first Disney movies to have like 3D effects in it too.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the animator, but if you like animation in a like actually care about it kind of way, there's a really good video by Noodle, who is a creator who is significantly more talented than I will ever be. And he has a video about 60 FPS versus other things, and it's very, very, very good. And he has a follow-up where the animator from Beauty and the Beast and other things, who is like just a crazy talented person, agrees with him.
Tales from the Loop is very good. There's a series that I've been meaning to get you to watch.
Wait, what? There's a movie version of the Earthsea books. If it is an adaptation of those books, one of the things with Studio Ghibli is when they do adaptations, they're not like ultra faithful. They do change things. I've seen, and which is fine, especially when it's not Tales from Earthsea. I don't know if it's accurate to the books. It might be perfectly accurate, and maybe those books are shit. I don't know, but yeah, that movie is terrible. Ponyo, on the other hand, is fucking one of my favorite things ever, and especially if you have like a really nice telly. Oh, it's a visual treat. What is Tales from the Loop anyway?
It's a series of like sort of self-contained episodes about.
Is it a bit like that Left, Love, Death and Robots?
No, it's the tales are happening within the same area to different people.
Oh, are they?
And then occasionally
are they parallel?
Yeah, and occasionally you get access to like other characters who were like vaguely mentioned in that other person's episode. Yeah, and they kind of like connect to each other in a weird web way. It's good.
Ghibli made one video game. Is that The Wrath of the White Witch, which is a game I meant to play through but just never gotten around to it. And they didn't make it, they contributed. They did the animations, and they also sort of contributed the art style, but it was made by a game developer. Because generally speaking, animation studios kind of shit at making games. Although that's not necessarily always the case. The Earthsea books are very, very good. Okay. I'm unlikely to read them, I'll be honest. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Love the Bomb and Stop Robbering? Stop Worrying. Peter Sellers' best ever. That is something that I probably need to see. I don't think I've ever seen it. I hear Avatar The Last Airbender movie did badly in the UK because you can't have characters say stuff like, I knew you were a bender in the cinema. No,
it's like,
it did badly because it was a bag of shite.
Yeah, so it's just a bad movie. But
it's like a really fucking bad movie.
But at the same time, like when the kid, after we watched Avatar and the kids start saying, I'm a bender, and I'm like, oh my god.
As a mature grown adult, I did not find that kind of funny. It's very silly, but yeah. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is a secret masterpiece. I know that some of the Scooby-Doo movies are like kind of weirdly good.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen them.
Some of them are. They're amazing.
And with a lot of adult jokes in them.
Yeah, a lot.
Which makes sense because at the end of the day, Scooby-Doo is a TV show for old people now. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. It was made in the goddamn, 70s? Maybe even... I don't think it was 60s. It was a long time ago. When Titanic came out, a doctor my mum worked with was in line to see it. He was talking to his wife and said something about the iceberg. The woman ahead of them said, "Thanks for spoiling it." Did the doctor then push them into the street?
Push them into the ocean.
This is triage, bitch. I almost went to Titanic, but grade 4 history class ruined it for me. I think I needed more tentacles than jet fighters. I mean, that is the ideal historical drama.
You just watch Titanic and go, where's the Kraken?
Airbender bombed everywhere because it was bad. Everybody knew it was bad because it was bad, because it was M. Night Shyamalan, for some reason, thought that he could do anything good with it. Christ knows.
Did he insert himself into that movie as well?
Probably. After The Descent, a gal said that those women must have never worked in the restaurant, otherwise she would have said behind and not taken a climbing axe to the throat. I don't know what you're talking about, but good job. What we need is a good Cthulhu movie, but I might be biased. Well, the problem with that is it would drive you literally insane if it was good. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a good Cthulhu movie. It would just be something. My New Year's resolution is to be more punctual. I mean, you've got to puncture yourself in the face to make sure you're on time. Boosh. Titanic, Jurassic Park crossover. Well, like, would the boat be in the park, or would the park be on the boat?
No, they're riding a dinosaur.
Oh, just a giant fucking dinosaur that is like...
That hits an iceberg.
And the iceberg's like, fucking hell.
The iceberg is also a dinosaur, but frozen.
Frozen. I mean, I'm not going to lie, this movie sounds fucking amazing. Cthulhu for world leader. Someone else wants Dagon. I mean, we've got already political dissent in the ranks. I'm already insane. I'm here, aren't I? I mean, you're either insane or you have nothing better to do. I mean, they're close. Hello Future Me did a great post-mortem on the last Airbender movie. Did it just go down to it's kind of shit? Scooby-Doo was the best kids show ever. Told us that supernatural doesn't exist and it's always some dude working a grift. No wonder I'm an atheist.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
to be fair.
One of the worst ones that was a premiere for Pride and Prejudice and a woman asked, will the author be here?
Oof. I like that. You should have said yes.
Gorov always wins.
I mean, as a god of madness, always a fun time. If your god is dead, blame mine. Which mine?
Mine.
Blues Brothers versus Dirty Dancing, epic. Blues Brothers, absolutely great movie. Can't fucking stand Dirty Dancing. I had an ex who just watched it all the time and was an adult.
I watched it once and I'm like, people like this?
You can't put baby in the corner. Don't put baby in the corner. Bad baby. Yeah. Don't forget, Mary was a lion. What? Jesus Christ. Poor Joseph. Fucking hell. Shyamalan should have stuck to short films. Can't have a twist ending after 2 hours
Can
of
we have,
telegraphing.
instead of Dirty Dancing, can we have, like, Dirty Cthulhu?
Well, you can't... The problem with M. Night Shyamalan is the fucking... It's telegraphed that it's coming because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. The twist would have been there is no twist. It's what he should have started doing. Instead of inserting himself into the film as him... a representation of himself as Jesus, which was just not the best call he's ever made.
Really?
What?
Did he actually do that?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the film, but it was about like a mermaid that showed up in a swimming pool. And his character, everyone just fawned over him because he was going to write a book that changed the world. And yeah, he played that character, which is just fucking wild. I'm so good. Oh my god. Someone will know what the fucking film is called. Saw 5, Pingu Returns. I would also watch that movie.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. We need a Scooby-Doo to do another movie. This time going after a faith healer. I mean, how many faith healers like try to haunt an amusement park though? I mean, it's probably more than 0, but still. Don't put Blues Brothers 2 in a corner. Oh, Blues Brothers 2000. I kind of like that film, but it's not very good. It's a bad sequel, but it's a Lady in the Water, that's the one. Yeah, that's absolute garbage. Don't watch it. Watch Mickey take reviews of it. They're basically always way better. But with 20 seconds left and me desperate for the toilet, I'm going to wrap up this stream and fuck off and then do work.
Can we blend Speed and the Matrix?
Yes. Okay, bye.